Hi YouTube. Welcome back. It's Janet. I'm sorry it took a little while to get some videos up. Step 11 is fairly long. I know I can't read it in 10 minutes, so I'm going to break it into two parts. So tonight we will be reading from the 6th edition NA Basic Text, Chapter 4, Step 11. We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for the knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. The first 10 steps have set the stage for us to improve our conscious contact with the God of our understanding. They give us the foundation to achieve long-sought positive goals. Having entered this phase of our spiritual program through practicing the previous 10 steps, most of us welcome the exercise of prayer and meditation. Our spiritual condition is the basis for a successful recovery that offers unlimited growth. Many of us really begin to appreciate our recovery when we get to the 11th step. In the 11th step, our lives take on a deeper meaning. By surrendering control, we gain a far greater power. The nature of our belief will determine the manner of our prayer and meditations. We need only make sure that we have a system of belief that works for us. Results count in recovery. As has been noted elsewhere, our prayers seemed to work as soon as we entered the program of Narcotics Anonymous and we surrendered to our disease. The conscious contact described in this step is the direct result of living the steps. We use the steps to improve and maintain our spiritual condition. When we first came into the program, we received help from a power greater than ourselves. This was set in motion by our surrender to the program. The purpose of the 11th step is to increase our awareness of that power and to improve our ability to use it as a source of strength in our new lives. The more we improve our conscious contact with God through prayer and meditation, the easier it is to say, "Your will, not mine, be done." We can ask for God's help when we need it, and our lives get better. The experiences that some people talk about regarding meditation and individual religious beliefs don't always apply to us. Ours is a spiritual, not religious program. By the time we get to the 11th step, character defects that caused problems in the past have been addressed by working the preceding 10 steps. The image of the kind of person that we would like to be is a fleeting glimpse of God's will for us. Often, our outlook is so limited that we can only see our immediate wants and needs. It's easy to slip back into our old ways. To ensure our continued growth and recovery, we have to learn to maintain our lives on a spiritually sound basis. God will not force His goodness on us, but we will receive it if we ask. We usually feel something is different in the moment, but we don't see the change in our lives until later. When we do get our own selfish motives out of the way, we begin to find a peace that we never imagined possible. Enforced morality lacks the power that comes to us when we choose to live a spiritual life. Most of us pray when we are hurting. We learn that if we pray regularly, we won't be hurting as often or as intensely. Outside of Narcotics Anonymous, there are any number of different groups practicing meditation. Nearly all of these groups are connected with a particular religion or philosophy. An endorsement of any one of these methods would be a violation of our traditions and a restriction on the individual's right to have a God of his understanding. Meditation allows us to develop spiritually in our own way. Some of the things that didn't work for us in the past might work today. We take a fresh look each day with an open mind. We know that if we pray for God's will, we will receive what's best for us, regardless of what we think. This knowledge is based on the belief and experience as recovering addicts. Prayer is communicating our concerns to a power greater than ourselves. Sometimes when we pray, a remarkable thing happens. We find the means, ways, and energies to perform tasks far beyond our capacities. We grasp the limitless strength provided for us through our daily prayer and surrender, as long as we keep faith and renew it. For some, prayer is asking for God's help. Meditation is listening for God's answer. We learn to be careful of praying for specific things. We pray that God will show us His will and that He will help us carry that out. In some cases, He makes His will so obvious to us that we have little difficulty seeing it. In others, our egos are so self centered that we won't accept God's will for us without another struggle and surrender. If we pray for God to remove any distracting influences, the quality of our prayers usually improves and we feel the difference. Prayer takes practice, and we should remind ourselves that skilled people were not born with their skills. It took a lot of effort on their part to develop them. Through prayer, we seek conscious contact with our God. In meditation, we achieve this contact, and the 11th step helps us to maintain it. We have had we may have been exposed to many religions and meditative disciplines before coming to Narcotics Anonymous. Some of us were devastated so completely confused by these practices. We were sure that it was God's will for us to use drugs to reach higher consciousness. Many of us found ourselves in very strange states as a result of these practices. We never suspected the damaging effects of our addiction as the root of our difficulty and pursued to the end whatever paths offered hope. In quiet moments of meditation, God's will can become evident to us. Quieting the mind through meditation brings an inner peace that brings us in contact with God within us. A basic premise for meditation is that it is difficult, if not impossible, to obtain conscious contact unless our mind is still. The usual never-ending succession of thoughts has to cease for progress to be made. So our preliminary practice is aimed at stilling the mind and letting the thoughts that arise die a natural death. We leave our thoughts behind us as the meditation part of the 11th step becomes a reality for us. Emotional balance is one of the first results of meditation, and our experience bears this out. Some of us came to the program broken and hung around for a while, only to find God or salvation is one kind of religious cult or another. It is easy to flock back out the door on a cloud of religious zeal and forget that we are addicts with an incurable disease. I'm going to stop here. I will start another video behind this, which will be the second part of step 11. So join me in just a few minutes, and God bless. Keep yourselves clean and healthy. I love you. Bye.